Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the freaking internet. This is the Fat White Knight, as always, coming to you from another Minecraft hardcore totemless episode here on the channel. And today, we're doing what we always do. Random bits and bobs that eventually lead to me doing something eventually, right? You know, we just kind of explore and we go and get tools, we go and get leaves, we get wood, we do things. It's kind of rinse and repeat. At this particular moment, there are not a whole list of things that we are able to do, though there kind of are. So basically, we have work on the houses. We have work on the slime farm, which you have not seen me start yet, but have it. We have relocate the villagers. We have build many trees. We have build large trees. Lots of different things. And we'll just see how it goes. Be right back. lot of digging that we have to go here. We are trying to get rid of this entire fortress, mainly because I want to make a gigantic room down below where the actual magma cube spawner is. Now, I've done some testing so far, and obviously this is future me talking, and I know kind of the spawn rates of it, and it's not that great. But I think that it could be a lot better if we remove this entire structure and then we have our giant glass box and we put our iron golem in the middle and then we put powdered snow in there and we do all of those things. I think it would be a really easy thing, and then all we need to do is fill it with the different frogs. Now, I honestly don't really give a flying fuck about what color I get from the frog lights. I don't care if it's purple, yellow, or green. Doesn't really matter because you're not going to be able to see any of these anyway. What I mean by that is I hide almost all of my lighting. Almost the entirety of it I hide. Under leaves, in the water, under seagrass, under like all sorts of ways that I hide glass, or I hide lighting rather. And that's because I hate seeing torches. I also play with my graphics on fast, specifically so I cannot see through the leaves because I don't want to see all the lighting that I've hit as well. Now, everyone could come and see, put it on fancy graphics and they could see it, but that's not the way I like to see it. So, to me, I think it's very beneficial to not have that on. That way, you can't see through the leaves, you can't see through the water like that, and you can hide all of these lighting sources really, really easy. And then your paths and everything look very different. Looks very lit up, very nice, and you can also kind of play with it. So you can have real actual lighting, but you can make it aesthetically pleasing, and then you don't have to worry about is it bright enough? Is our monsters going to spawn here? Are my villagers going to die? Is there going to be zombie invasions in here? Et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. But all of these things are kind of meld into that. And so I hide them. I hide all of the light sources down there, whether it be torches or whether it be lanterns or the new frog lamps. And in this case, frog lamps are, I think, the easiest for us to get with the least amount of effort. So I'm trying to make them a farm so that we can get a lot of them. Because to light up an entire forest, let me tell you, it's going to take hundreds, maybe 1,000, maybe a couple thousand of these lamps all hidden under light sources to get there. So that's why I'm doing it, and we'll see you in the next clip. Boop. The thunders are rolling outside, and there's a cascading wall of rain coming down on the earth right now. It's pretty freaking cool, I'm not gonna lie. But doggos are scared. One underneath the desk and one huddled away inside the bathroom. And I think I would love to be able to make them not scared of it. I've tried, covering them in blankets and doing thunder jackets and just sitting with them and petting them and giving them treats. None of it works. They just are very scared of it, and one understandably so, because we got, she was obtained from a shelter, and as a result of being obtained from a shelter, I think she spent a lot of her time outside. And that is very, very sad. So she probably got scared and sensitized to all of the thunder and the lightning and such like that. It's very sad. But we're still here trying to get rid of this massive structure, which is good for a couple reasons. Because we really are going to need these bricks anyway. All of these Blackstone variants are so pretty looking. They really, really are. The cracked, the marbled, the brick, the slate, all of it is so, so nice. So we'll be using that for sure. And we may even be able to put it into some of our mud and gray wool. I think it could equally work there if we used the cobbled variation of it. I think it could work quite freaking nicely. Obviously, right now we do not have anything sped up. This is in real time, not live, obviously, because I have pre recorded these episodes, but it is, in fact, as slow as it actually is taking. And let me tell you, this is way more of a project than I initially bargained for. I always take on these projects in Minecraft and I feel like, oh, this is going to take 10 minutes. I'll have this done. Not a problem. It'll be super easy, an hour tops. Nope, that is definitely not the case here. We are running into like hour 3 or 4 at this point, and we're not even close to being done with it. It is deeply, deeply concerning, which I don't love, but we'll figure it out, and hopefully we'll get a massive frog light operation going. I don't really like to AFK, so most for 2 reasons. One, I don't like to risk losing my hardcore world due to being AFK. And 2, it just seems like to defeat the purpose of the world, because then you're not making progress in it for all of the days that you're playing, and that is no good. So we will have to be around this, doing things to get this to activate in the first place. The range is not going to be great on it because we're using an actual spawner, but I've never tried it before, so I wanted to just use a magma cube spawner and see if we can get it to be, productive. And I think if we make the room big enough and give them ample space to spawn, and then kind of block out all the rest of the spawns here in the area, I think we can get something that's like mildly productive and get, hopefully over 600 or 700 per hour. That's the goal, I think. 600 or 700 per hour would not be terrible because it would only take us around 4 or 5 hours total to get the amount of frog lights that we need to hide all of our lights and make everything very lit up in our area, which would be nice. I'm not sure, though. We'll have to see. These structures, though, I've never really been in them. I've seen the updates come out as they did, but I've never really been in them myself. And there's so much empty space between, like, floors. And I get it, there's hallways and stuff like that, but these are a nightmare to mine out. Truly a freaking nightmare, just because of all of the gaps, and there's lava everywhere. Meanwhile, we're in the middle of a soul sand valley, which means gas can spawn like crazy up in here, which is definitely something we're going to have to concern ourselves with. And yeah, all of this is going to be part of a larger project in that fortress over there, which I plan to kind of help a little bit, see if we can't make something really cool. I kind of still want it to be manual rather than it being completely automated and everything just falls into the thing and you get everything, because it's not really that fun. It's been done before. Everyone does it. It does take a lot of effort, which I applaud, but kind of want to do a little bit different. So I'm thinking some kind of like chain or glass pane design that we are able to run through the middle of all of the fortress after we get rid of the walls, kind of like in a maze-like fashion. You run it up and down, and somehow they can't get you, and they spawn on both sides. I think it could be really cool. Probably horribly inefficient, but I do think it could be really freaking cool. Also, that noise scared the living crap out of me when I heard it. I was just kind of recording, minding my own business, and wasn't expecting anything to really jump out at me. And I heard that torrent of pigs just like that, and it was shocked me a little bit, surprised the crap out of me, because those pigs, they hurt a lot. They can kill you very, very quickly, especially if you are not wearing all of your armor. But in this case, I am, so you can survive like 4 hits or whatever the number is. Either way, we have a lot of weird projects here. All real part of the same project for this moment, except for this one and the Nether Fortress, I suppose. Even though eventually I do think I want to use a lot of beacons as sources of lamps around the city, just because it could look really, really cool. You can make a nice design with that. I think it'd be fun. We'll have to see, though, on whether or not that is going to work or if it will not. So we're going to make some pretty drastic cuts now and just give you a little updated version as we're going through this, and we'll be back possibly in a GIF or with some more music. I don't know yet. I tried to do a little bit of a montage. I cut out a bunch of stuff, so you're going to see us skipping very randomly into the darkness here, into what we're trying to get accomplished, and that is the making of this hootenanny contraption that we want to do for all of our various needs and wants for frog lights. It's gonna be awful, I can already tell you, just simply because of what it is. It's gonna be freaking rad and awful, and these things hurt so bad, and they also do not die to lava. So that's a thing. That is, in fact, a thing. So first step here is for us to sand in the floor so that we can actually get rid of some of the lava. The issue, which I am about to freaking discover, however, is that there are some slabs or something at the bottom here, or soul sand, that allows sand not to be placed there, and it is absurdly freaking obnoxious. I didn't speed this part up at all just because I wanted you to see how incredibly painful this really is. This took me so long. I even got the sword, and granted, it doesn't have the best enchantments on it. It's good for killing wither skeletons and not good for killing magma slimes, but still, goodness gracious, is this rough. These things have such a gigantic reach that no matter what you do, you seem to get hit by them, and it is an absolute delight. You try to progress, you get knocked back. You try to do anything more, you get knocked back. And it just is a load of fun dealing with these guys. I definitely would have been better off building these in the biome that they spawn in, rather than trying to use the spawner. But I figured, you know what? Everyone else does that. I want to be the inefficient farmer. I have done this to myself. I want to be the inefficient farmer as much as I can be, and still get done what we need to. So I figured this is going to be a really good way. Let me tell you right freaking now, this is one of the most annoying, obnoxious things in Minecraft that I have ever done. Because getting the blocks in here has been an excruciating experience. You try to just whack them, and then you place a few blocks. You try to whack them, you get put in the lava. You place a few blocks. So I did, in fact, bring noob juice with me, because that is how we lost our last world, if you did not know. It is through the use of all of not using noob juice, and it was my own stupid fault for what we did, which is really freaking sad, honestly. But I was happy to start this new one, and we're doing quite well in it. So now, whenever we are working in here, I will be holding on to that noob juice, because my goodness, do I not want to die in that fashion again. If we die to something else, I can't be as salty, but if we die to the exact same thing a second time, that's when it's a real freaking problem, honestly. We don't want that. We really, really don't. So I'm doing everything in my power now to try and avoid that while we're doing these tasks. And I believe there is 2 spawners. I believe one on each side that we're going to have to put into this big room here. And I think it almost has to be the size of the entirety of this downstairs room right here. Without counting the walls, obviously. I think it has to be that big, though, to get the kind of rates that we're looking for without having to AFK. It is, it's going to be a real fun experience. That's all I can tell you, because, good lord. Right there, I don't know if you caught that, but I quickly looked at the sword in my inventory, discovered it was smite, and realized why this was becoming as painful as it was right now. And yeah, I in that moment definitely thought about going back to the overworld and perhaps getting ourselves some better tools, because my goodness, is this painful. It really, truly is. So let me show you how it all unfolds. I discovered a few things right freaking now. How to get rid of eggs. Tadpole eggs, to be specific. And, yeah, not my greatest work. So we're just going through, adding the changes, adding the hoppers, getting rid of the sand while also fighting hordes of these lads. Trying to get the hopper set up so that anywhere in here that a lad is killed with the frog, that we can get it. You know, that's just how we freaking roll. But I think that is going to do it for me for today. So thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And until freaking next time, ciao.